Oh, what an adventure! Get lost with Google Maps. Good morning everyone, how you all going today? Well, it's a trailer day today. I've got the trailer stripped down. That means everything out of it that needs to come out of it for cleaning and inspection. Fridge, freezers, all the kitchen's empty. We're going to vacuum everything. What we did notice in the first inspection, that's just the initial get it all out and let's have a look, is I got a bit of dust on that front battery, little bit of dust there and a bit of dust on those cables. Now the only thing coming into this corner are the cables, so obviously I've got a little bit of a leak coming in there, so I need to fix that. I don't like dust coming into the camper while we're driving. It's not surprising, we do a lot of really dusty roads. You can see on the wheels here I haven't cleaned anything yet. See that caked in dust there? That's what we call in Australia bull dust. It's really super fine dust. It hides big holes and all sorts of stuff in the road. And that powder actually will find a way in. If there's a way in, it'll find a way in. Well, it found a way in down there. So we got to sort that. I'll open this door. That thing there's a huge door, as you can see by the hinge there. I've got to replace a circuit breaker because solar panel's overproducing. And I'll just check all my connections, make sure everything's still nice and tight. And yeah, this dust up here, you can see this dust up here, this dust, see this dust here? Alright, that's because when we're at a camp, we open this door and put the annex out, and it only takes a bit of wind to pick up a bit of dust and you get dust in the top here. This is normal. We clean this after every trip. Sometimes during the trip if it gets bad. But you know, holidays for both people, a lot of men forget that. They go on holiday and then expect, you know, lavish meals and all that sort of stuff. A holiday is for both partners. Blokes, remember that when you go camping. Okay? Alright, so I'll get to all that later. Now, I had a comment on one of my older videos, I think it was setting up these battery monitors and charge controllers. And I don't know if the guy's a subscriber or not, but that doesn't make a difference to me. If he's got a question, and it's a legitimate question, then I will try and answer it the best I can. And he talks about, it's a shame he didn't see the setup. Well, the setup of what? The charge controller or the BMV 702? Now the 702 required a lot more maths, and I can show you my settings on that. I'm not going to go through how I worked it all out. It's actually working pretty brilliant. I don't think it just recognises infinite right now because, you know, I've only just turned the power on. So we'll go into the charge controller first. And the charge controller, that's showing the solar panel volts and the amperage coming in from that solar panel, which is under a veranda right now. Okay, battery's current volts, current going in, and it's trying to bulk. Alright, and you can see where we had troubles with that circuit breaker until we actually shaded the panel. We had to put a towel over the panel to stop the circuit breaker from tripping. Alright, into the settings we go. Battery. And in your settings, it's quite simple. Alright. You just go in here. Okay. And you can edit all sorts of stuff. But I've just selected lithium ion. Okay. LiFePO04, and absorption volts 14.2. I've got the maximum current turned down right now. All right, I need to turn that back up to 30. Okay, because I worked out I could turn this down, and that saved shading it, and that also stopped the circuit breaker from tripping. All right, there we go. So I've actually altered the current coming in now to 30 amps instead of 15 because that panel was overproducing. You set it to LiPo 4. For me, those settings turned out absolutely perfect. And I got equalization and everything disabled, as you can see there. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Okay. Now setting up the BMV 702 here required a bit more work. As you can see, there's no power. It's not gaining power. It's not doing a hell of a lot right now. That minuscule power we've got coming out of that panel isn't going through the shunt. It's powering these little devices right here, and that's it. Okay, setting up the BMV 702 is a bit more tricky. Basically, we go into here, we go into battery configuration. All right, I've got two 100 amp hour batteries, which give me a total of 200 amps. The charged voltage is 13.8. So when it gets to 13.8, it'll register. Discharge floor, that's the maximum I want at discharge, 20%. Tail current, 4%. Charge detection time, 3 minutes. Percat exponent, that's what took me the most to work out. I settled on 1.05. The charge efficiency factor I set to 95, and current threshold is 1 amp. Okay, and that's how I've set that up. For me it works. I find the I get very accurate readings out of the BMV 702 on that, on my state of charge of my batteries on those settings. Again, contact your battery manufacturer. He might be able to be more help. So yeah, that's about it for setting it up. It's pretty simple once you get to know these units and the Victron gear. I love Victron gear. For my camper trailer, there's no fans running in it. It's just all air cooled and doesn't make a noise, doesn't make a fuss. It's got nice Bluetooth connectivity so I can see what's going on during the day. I can find out why my solar panel was tripping. And yeah, I mean, it was that was interesting. I didn't actually have to get my meters out of the car and start meter testing everything to find out that the solar panel was overproducing by 4 amps. Basically 3 or 4 amps on the solar output side, not the charge controller. But setting the charge controller back to 15 amps maximum on the output also limits the input, and we were able to get away with it that way. Okay, I think that's all the help I can do. I've got to sort this little bloody dust leak. Dust annoys me. But like I say, we'll vacuum everything, clean everything, check all my wires. Another day, another dollar, they say. We busy here vacuuming and cleaning. Now we did have a dust leak in that bottom corner. Sorry about the glare there. And it is coming in through where those wires come into the trailer, but that is the only spot it possibly can come in anyway. But my wife's just been in there. She's a lot smaller than me, a lot skinnier, and she can get right in there. She had a really good look when she vacuumed it all out in there and said, yep, that's it, Chris. Now we've checked all the wires, all nice and tight. There's no chafing, no rubbing, nothing like that going on. The inverter over here, I'll try and reach my arm out. Yes, it is upside down, but that's how it mounted. It's running well. Everything here is running beautiful, and all my wiring's still good, which is great, because sometimes fittings compress. You know, you tighten them up and you get them nice and tight, but then you go for a nice long holiday and your fittings compress, and you end up with loose fittings. And on solar and batteries, that's not a good thing. You get hot spots and stuff not performing, batteries not charging correctly, and of course everyone's usually blames the wrong thing, and they don't go through and check their wiring. And they're the solar circuit breakers there. I know it looks complicated, but it's not. I showed it in my wiring. When I wired the trailer, I got a series of 12 videos on it. Yeah, some of the wires look long, but the point is, when you're doing DC from, alright, and a charging source like solar or something like that, it's very important to keep all your battery wires and all the wires going to your batteries, the negative and the positive, exactly the same size on both batteries. So here I've got one a bit further away, which required me to have a slightly longer wire on that one, so that meant that I had to match the wires all to the longest battery wire, so that the batteries charge evenly, you draw from them evenly. Remember, these are 100 amp limit to maximum amp draw on these batteries, so you don't want to be pulling 105 amps out of one and 95 out of the other or something like that. You know, you want to make sure you get all your wires right so it all pulls correctly. Overall, I'm pretty pleased. We'll get that dust leak fixed, and we do this when we come back from every trip. We do this, the same thing. I didn't have that dust leak last trip down there, who knows. But after every trip, we totally go through everything, vacuum the trailer, put all the stuff back in it, restock the kitchen, and then we're right to go. We know we're right to go. You know, I clean underneath, look for cracks, stress points, fractures, grease its nipples, and we're good to go again, you know. At a moment's notice, I can just hook this up and go out, we're gone. So yeah. In mobile applications, very important to check your tensions on everything all the time. Okie doke, I think that's it. Hope you enjoyed this little video. It's just some of the stuff we do at the end of each trip.